Okay, very good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Saturday, the 14th of June, 2025. Starting with the synoptic, yesterday lunchtime to begin with, we can see that we had this sort of almost a warm front work its way in. We had a sort of fairly nice day, and then about 3:30, 4 o'clock, we started to get the fairly classic warm front conditions of the approaching upper cloud. And we were a bit concerned later on about the supposed thunder and lightning, but it didn't ever really materialize into much until much later into the evening. Overnight, you can see that warm front has now passed. We've had a couple of troughs just coming in past the center of this depression off into the just off the coast of East Anglia. And by midday today, we should have had a cold front passage with the low, beg your pardon, centre just over the Scottish borders, and that bringing us some fairly unsettled, unstable air. Overnight, you can see we've got this Azores High beginning to ridge up, pushing this lower pressure clag away and possibly bringing slightly better conditions in the next few days. The sat pic for this morning, as of 8:45, you can see very, very cloudy. A lot of cloud to the north, but a clearance very much on its way. And already the cloud base has moved up and the lower level cloud is starting to burn off. Rain radar associated with that sort of front of those troughs that move away from us. You can see we've got some lines of showers, nothing on its way towards us, even down towards the channel. So we should stay dry for most of the day. The west and up to the Midlands and Wales, they may see progressive showers throughout the day, particularly around about lunchtime, but we should locally anyway stay dry. And just running through the office rain prediction, we can see those fairly heavy showers actually working their way up from the southwest and quite prominent throughout Wales. But generally, we'll be unaffected by those here at Lasham today and into the evening as well. There will be nothing to affect. The Farnborough Taff, they're giving us 210 degrees, 10 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, and broken at 800 feet, becoming by about 10 o'clock, scattered at 3,000. Spot winds to the south of us. We've got 240 degrees, 20 and 25 knots at 1,000 and 2,000 feet respectively, and to the north, 230, 25 for both. And wind on the ground is going to be southwesterly, and we can see that flow across the airfield shown on windy here. Fairly brisk at times and blustery, but nothing particularly significant. The club operation will certainly be going off 2-3 to begin with, and we'll see how that develops. The local Met Office forecast is confirming that, showing us southwesterly, becoming actually slightly southwesterly for a brief period in the afternoon. The mean of 13 to 14 knots, gusting up to 30 at times. So we'll monitor those conditions throughout. Visibility should be very good. We've got quite high UV ratings, so do watch out for that. Air temperature up to 21 degrees, feeling quite a bit cooler with that stiff wind from the southwest. GFS giving us much the same, about 21, 22 degrees, a dew point of 11. So looking west now towards 2XL from the south side, you can see this low level stuff beginning to break up and certainly increase in terms of cloud base. Fairly brisk wind there, as we can see, and very much southwesterly. We'll just refresh that. We're up to 17.4 degrees outside air temperature with a dew point of 14.3. So just having a quick look at the point forecast and potential flight distance on the SkySat. On the left-hand side of the screen there, we can see the potential flight distance. And it's very much the case that in the direction where we're getting a lot of that showery activity, there's not a great deal of good flying to be had. But up to the sort of northeast, it's looking to be probably the best area. Typically, of course, that's where We've got a certain amount of restricted areas for the birthday fly past, but we'll go on to discuss that a little bit more during the airfield briefing. In terms of the point forecast for Lasham itself, we can see here cumulus throughout with climbs up to 4,500 feet on the altitude, with strengths between 3.5 and 4 knots in places. Temperature should be remaining around about 20 degrees according to SkySight, with a thermal top wind of a southwesterly between 25 and 30 knots. Pressure slowly climbing throughout the day and overnight into tomorrow as that azle high begins to ridge its way in. If we look at the cloud distribution then on top meteo, starting from 9 o'clock local, we'll run this through hour by hour. And you can see cumulus is fairly consistent. Quite a lot of low cloud now by 2 o'clock local approaching the western coast, particularly Wales and the southwest. And as that works its way across, we actually get quite a sort of big blue patch that might get to us or just to the north of us. But then that's followed quite quickly afterwards by some auto queue into the evening. And it should be a fairly nice evening before that low cloud gets to us overnight. NOTAMs. So as you can see here, that's very, very messy. So I'll brief a couple of key ones, but what I will say is anybody flying out of gliding distance of Lasham, you are responsible for briefing yourself on the NOTAMs. There's too much here for us to break down and go into individually. What I can tell you is the usual suspects 20, we've got Bart and Stacey. At 24, that's Delta 132 at ranges. And at 21, that will be Thursley, and that's flare firing in the evening. Down at number 9, there's a fly past at Grapham. That's from surface to 3,500 feet above sea level. And that's from 1805 to 1835 Zulu. Okay, all these times will be in Zulu. Up at 26, which is buried in here, there's a BBMF fly past of Blackbush Airfield, and that's surface to 4,000 feet, beg your pardon, 2,400 feet, from 11:56 until 12:26 Zulu. And then up here at 32, we've got paraglider winching, and that is from surface to 1,900 feet. That's from 10 o'clock until 1500 Zulu. Now we'll move on to the airfield briefing, and we'll start with the Odium cross section. And we can see quite a lot of low cloud, scattering broken stratus, sub 1,000 feet, then working its way up quite quickly. Should be soarable from fairly early on. And the cloud base eventually sort of at 4,500 feet there with some fused and scattered cumulus. Giving us thermal strengths of 3 to 4 knots and quite a bit of surface turbulence or low-level turbulence associated with that strong southwesterly wind. Glider bookings, we've got 2 K21s for booked instruction. There are 2 K13s being used by the BJ instructors course, and there's a K21 allocated to Imperial College. We've also got a K21 on the casual list and a K13 for trial lessons. At the moment, there's 3 on the casual list with 1 instructor, and we've got plenty of single-seater availability. And just a quick reminder about the Aboyne expedition. Those are the dates there. If you're interested, speak to the office for more details. Okay, so up in that area with the cluster of lots and lots of NOTAMs, you've also got one of the RATs for the King's Birthday Flypast. So this is the one that's going to impact us, and it will be Area H and Area I that we'll be looking at here. Area H, that's from surface to 2,500 feet AMSL, so above sea level, and that's restricted from 12 o'clock to 12:40 Zulu, so that would be 1 o'clock to 22:02. Area I, the exact same parameters, surface to 2,500 at 12 o'clock until 12:40 Zulu as well. We've also got one of the routes for the red arrows heading past. They'll be going just to the south of Lasham, via sort of just slightly to the east of Messtead and south of Alton. They will be there at 1:15 p.m. and I believe that to be Zulu as well. So we're looking at 2:15. Expect the red arrows transiting to the south of the airfield. So please do be aware of that and don't be surprised if you see formation of jets. We've got nothing to report from 2XL today. And in summary, we've got low pressure and unstable air mass with a southwesterly flow. We'll be operating runway 23 today for the club operation. Cables on the east side. Please be ready when the cable or tug arrives. As previously mentioned, we've got a BGA instructors course running this week. This is the last day, and they will be getting priority launching. So if you're not ready, they will be pushed in front. Now, I said we're going to be operating club on 2-3. If there's any appetite for a sizable grid, we will do that off 2-7 in the normal place. Okay, so in the usual place, we will launch them on 2-7. Otherwise, the club operation will be on runway 2-3. Okay. As always, please do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. And that's all I've got for you today. So we'll see you out there very shortly. Have a good day. Keep it safe. Thank you very much.